Greetings and salutations, my friends. The handler here with Costal. Well, he is a Marine veteran, and I want to thank him for his service right off the bat.
Appreciate it.
Right?
Okay.
I represent patriotism, and as I see, he is quite patriotic in his shirt, and well, in being a Marine who has already served his country. Well, I think we know where he stands when it comes to, our country. Now, since we are in these times of 2024 elections, I love having conversations with people to get their point of view on the elections and the candidates and our government in general. So we're going to have a great conversation here. So Costal, so I guess, what is your point of view and what are your thoughts on how the current election is going?
As far as I see right now, I mean, I'm siding towards Harris. I'm a Democrat, registered Democrat, so I'm siding towards on the Democratic side for Kamala Harris, the vice president right as of now. But in my opinion is, I mean, the way the country's running, Biden did a good job, but he's like slipped, had a few slips in there and everything. And Trump is in so much controversy that it's hard to trust him anyway. So that's my opinion on that.
Okay, so now I always try to listen objectively, and so my point of view, I'm just going to put it out there, is I think that the problem is the entire United States government, and the candidates, well, they're bobbleheads, right? So what are your thoughts? Is Kamala Harris a bobblehead?
In my opinion, no. That's what Trump called her. I mean,
Did Trump actually call her a bobblehead?
I believe so. That's what I've seen.
I hadn't heard that one, but I guess, like mines, I guess.
I keep up on television and what's going on there, but he did, and he had some very rude comments about her, but he did call her a bobblehead, and some other term I can't remember it right off bat, but he said something else about she's non-children or something, or it was one of the other candidates that said something about she didn't believe in children because she don't have no kids or something like that, and her husband was something like that. I can't remember exactly, but other than that, I still would go to her side with her.
So I want to take it away from the candidates, because here's the thing: is we're not going to be like them candidates that are constantly throwing hate at each other and trying to beat each other down. And I want to cut through all that red tape, and I want to get right to the issues, because here's the thing: is they are the elected, right? And we have chosen for the ones in power, whoever it is, local and federal government, to be in place. To have our best interests at heart on our United States of America grounds here, on our land, as well as, throughout the entire world, making sure, no other countries or nations are going to invade or keep them relations, as they say. But what are your thoughts on the job they're doing, managing, I guess, the world and the levels of contributions to the world as well. Well, this specifically more like Ukraine, Israel, and Palestine, and the millions and billions of dollars we have handed over. Tax dollars, of course, right?
Of course.
What are your thoughts on the level of money that we have provided, other countries?
I figure that they're doing it. They really need the help, but it shouldn't lead to no war. But innocent people have lost their lives, and stuff like kids and children. But they need to eat like anybody else. I'm not prejudiced against any of that, but the money they need, if it's necessary, but not for the purpose of starting another war. You shouldn't feed them, like weapons and stuff like that. I don't think.
And I agree 100%. We should not be fueling a war machine, right? My concern here is well, the amount of dollars and where they're going, and to the point where they're not going. And well, that is right to the United States of America. Now,
help our own first.
We have to help our own. Are there not lots of homeless veterans?
Yeah.
Still to this day.
Right.
Did you and not all those veterans fight and lose limbs and die for our country?
Yes, exactly.
Right? And the ones that are here may have PTSD or going through trouble, and I wonder why. Well, I think, it's because they are not given the level of support that they should be given. or respect. You know, I attended the memorial service here in New Haven, both in on the green and here at Long Wharf, and the attendance was terrible. It's like, where are the people coming out to show, you know, respect for the men and women who have fought and died for our country, simply put, right? But, you know, I mean, there's so many issues out there, you know, when it comes to how our government spends their money. Like, for instance, you know, I heard Zelensky, you know, the president of Ukraine. Well, I think he's got 3 yachts and a mansion now. Hey, thanks, U.S. of A., for making sure other countries are full of wealth and having really great rods and Lamborghinis and Ferraris and mansions and yachts. I mean, I love the way you spend our tax dollars. You know, well, not. I do not like paying high gas prices. Well, what are your thoughts on the price? Oh, well, do you drive? Okay.
No, I used to. Well, I did. That's what I did in Australia. But I just ride around and exercise on my bike. So,
okay. All right, so do you have a car?
No, not
currently.
Not currently.
So now,
not currently.
Do you think if maybe so many billions of dollars didn't go to Ukraine, that more people would have more things here in the United States?
Yeah, it's a good possibility they would. Yeah, if a lot of them didn't go away to other countries. Yeah.
Now, and this is where I want to go to it, because here's the thing: is this is what we have chosen to do. We have chosen to put these people in place, right? And then we step back and we say, "You got me, right? You know, this is your job. My job, well, is to do something else." But that whole political thing, well, I don't want to get involved because, well, that requires some other level of commitment. So you got me right now. And here's the thing: is they've been getting us for so long. Well, oh, they got you all right. So what are your thoughts on how much they got us, right? So meaning, you know, when we already talked about gas prices, we know the food prices are really high. And you know, it's every time I turn around, it seems like the rich are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer.
Right.
But I guess you know. So you think I want to go slightly back to the candidates here for a minute here, just because, you know, I mean, we have a Democrat here that you know is giving us, you know, he's going to go vote for Kamala Harris, right? And so I, you know, I always want to understand, you know, so do you consider yourself a liberal or just a Democrat?
Just a Democrat.
Just a Democrat, okay. All right. Now, do you vote in every election?
Not recently. I voted for Obama back in the day when he was the president for that Obama, but Trump I didn't vote for, or Biden the past few years, 8 to 10 years. But Obama I did back in the day when he was president.
Okay, so you voted for Obama, right? And well, you know, all I know is that, you know, I've heard and I've witnessed many things that go on with these elections, right? You know, do you think your vote actually counts?
Yeah, it varies. One vote could make a difference, though, in a way. I think it may count. One vote.
Well, what about all these rigged elections out there? I mean, there's so much talk of rigged elections over years and years. I mean, so I mean, if somebody's out there rigging elections, I mean, I've been a part of an organization called Voter Registration Fraud, and I know there's lots of rigged elections out there. So, knowing that, right, you know, and people are out there every day trying to protect, you know, all those ballots. Well, if there's some.
Yeah, same thing happened with Bridgeport and with Ganneman and Rogue and Bridgeport. They brought somebody absentee ballot, putting in ballots where it's supposed to be there.
Oh, so we are fully aware of rigged elections. You know, whether it be local or federal. I mean, we are fully aware of rigged elections, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, not that I won't vote. I mean, you won't say I won't vote, but I do not care about the sticker you give me, because I know my vote is not as relevant as my voice, right? Because, you know, my person, my being here, my soul has something to say about the way our government is running, right? The levels of corruption run so deep, and that's the thing, is I want to make people aware of those levels of corruption, right? Most people, they look at our government like, well, that person is doing a good job. Well, I like him because he smiled on TV. You know? Well, he is the president. You know, we did elect him, and the majority vote supposedly put him in that office there, right? But do you really think any bobblehead in the Oval Office is truly running the country? They are not. There are globalists. There are people like George Soros, right, who is paid, for riots and paid for chaos in our government and in the streets. So, but one thing is, there are many people out there, bankers, wealthy people. I call them globalists. They're all over the place. They are the ones that are pulling the strings. Now, I want to ask you a question here, because you may not be aware of it, right? If you're not following politics, and I guess that's why it's like taking candy from a baby, because most people aren't watching while the government is stealing. And now, because it has become so obvious, people are like, well, I can't do nothing about it. It's already some system in place. Now, back to that question. What are your thoughts? And then recently passing a law to legalize bribery in the United States government.
Legalize bribery?
Legalize bribery. So we already knew they were taking money behind the scenes. It is now legal for them to take bribes.
I think that's uncalled for, or it's not, they shouldn't do it, in my opinion.
So now,
I got a minute left. I got to run it back.
Sure. All right, so we're going to end up here real quick here, because he's running out of time, and I appreciate people's time and their understanding, and as well as me trying to listen to their perspective, of course. But here's the thing: I want to make sure I get your attention, and you can truly understand that it is going to take your involvement and my involvement and that person's involvement in saving your own life. Because guess what? They have been taking candy from a baby for so long that it is so easy, because most people, they just watch TV and say, well, I'll just pick that one and I'll show up on that voter day and well, I'll get what I get. Well, I guess you're going to get not something so good unless you start getting involved. And that's what I tell everybody. But what I find is most people aren't all that capable of getting involved. They can't wrap their mind that the government has been lying to them their entire life, right? But that's okay. That's why I'm here. I want to educate you. Now, after this video, I gotta wonder. I have given you some information, right?
Okay.
What are you gonna do with that information?
I take it into consideration and give it some thoughts. Just review it, at home, and I make my decision when the time comes.
That's good to hear. That's good. I have an awareness channel here. Now it's called Magnetic Movement. Make sure you subscribe to Magnetic Movement.
Okay.
And
I left my phone home anyway.
all right. Well, we're gonna make sure everyone out there in our world, start subscribing to Magnetic Movement, because we want to make sure that people are aware and they step forward every day with some level of action. Because I want to make sure God bless you, we start fixing the problem that is the United States government. Now we have problems all over the world. I told you, they are string pullers, they are globalists, but the only way we're going to ever get to them is if we start walking the walk up the chain. Or let's just say, how about standing forward and say, well, I'm at least going to do something. I'm at least going to pay attention. I'm at least going to watch the news objectively on every single possible channel, so I can be informed on what media is broadcasting versus what's on social media. And then I'm going to go ask 1,000 questions to 1,000 different people and continue on, right? Because here's the thing is, the more informed you are about what they're doing and you hear other people's perspectives, well, you're going to learn your way in to infiltrate the United States government. And guess what? And then we're going to implode, right? Because we are going to cleanse all the old and all the corruption out of the United States government right here at the Magnetic Movement, right? And the coolest thing is, we're going to do it with veterans. We're going to do it with the military. We're going to do it with the police. We're going to do it with the community, okay? Because, we're going to do it because God has blessed our actions. Now, I want to thank you, Costal, for joining into the video. Come on, bring it in here, brother, man.
No problem.
God bless America. God bless you and I. And the handler here with Magnetic Movement loves you. Be well, and I'll see you soon.
All right, take it easy. All right.